Hey YouTube, this is Zanyae. Zanyae Speaks. I am here with a video. So I just had to hop on and start because everybody knows it's very difficult to start YouTube and to show the world what you have to offer and what you're talking about. But my first topic for today, I wanted it to be something controversial. I wanted to talk about dating. I like relationships. As a mental health therapist, relationships are very different than doing, and my tooth, I just had surgery. If I sound a little weird, I had an extraction, which I'm really tired of having, but that's besides the point. The video that I want to talk about, or the topic that I want to talk about today, is relationships. I'm very into relationships as a therapist. So I'm a licensed professional counselor, but my training was in marriage and family therapy. So therefore I get to see families and also couples. Now I haven't done much families at all. I'm interested, but the couples therapy is where it's at. So most relationships could work out if both parties could get their communication on point, number one, and the respect level, which kind of goes with the communication. I always tell my clients and my couples, there is no way that you would talk to your friend the way we talk to mates. There's no way. If y'all just seen, that was my son crawling out of the room, which is funny because he's 16. Anyways, so basically there are relationships that fail that should not fail just due to communication. They couldn't get on the same page. There's only 3 different styles of communication, right? You have your aggressive, which we all know those people, and can become those people in times, and depending on who you're talking with and what has happened. We also have, I look like I'm just huge, which I'm not, but which is funny that I mentioned as a therapist, because we all should love how we look. We all should embrace how we look. So just disregard that comment, but we all make those comments, especially being women. So there's 3 different types of communication, right? You have your assertive, you have your aggressive, and you have your passive aggressive. So assertive, we all know those people as well. They're very direct. It's not rude, but they're very direct. They have good eye contact. And they say what they mean. They mean what they say. They're able to express those feelings. Then you also have what's called aggressive. Like I said, we all know those people. They're barking at you pretty much. Barking orders, not being nice. They're being rude. So it is that type of party when you're talking to those people. So then you have also called assertive, which is where we all want to be. And then, and passive aggressive. Those are the people where, you may come home from work, husbands, and then your wife is not cooking your dinner. And you have no idea why, but she just didn't cook dinner this week. Well, she's being passive aggressive. She's showing you that there's a problem, but she's not telling you that there's a problem. She has an issue with conflict and confrontation, but no issue with making confrontation by the way she acts around you or the behavior she's performing around you. So passive aggressive means you do something to somebody, but you haven't told them why you're doing it. That's passive. Everybody needs to know why, or they're not going to be able to correct it. Communication is everything. All we are as human beings are our 5 senses. That's how we experience life, through our sight, our taste, our touch. And all we are thoughts, feelings, words. That's it. That's how we live. That's how we communicate. That's how we get things done. Our thoughts, our behaviors, and our words. So words are crucial. Words, your self-talk in your head, those are words. And especially if it's negative, it's not helping you at all. That's number 1, to figure out what's not helping me. And being unhealthy with self. Oh, I'm a failure. Oh, I look ugly because of these spots. Oh, I'm fat. All of those things, which I'm not, but what is fat? And I let people know that all the time. What is actually fat? Today we have BBWs, we have big, beautiful women, we have curvaceous women, we have thick women. I always tell people that there's a ton of other words you can use besides fat. Fat, it shouldn't even have a meaning today, unless it's an overweight, unhealthy type of thing, but you still wouldn't want to use the word fat. It's a negative connotation. Why not use thick, voluptuous, lovely? So all of those things, words matter. Words matter. So when it comes to relationships, those 3 different types of communication styles, you usually get somebody who is aggressive paired with a passive aggressive person. That's super common because the aggressive person took over probably sought after the passive aggressive person. Passive aggressive person is usually letting the aggressive one dominate and lead things. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't, or they pick and choose when they don't. But that's the issue. So communication is number one. So once you've figured out what kind of communication style you have, and then you're headbutting with your mate, it's simple. Try to change it. Again, you wouldn't talk to a friend as derogatory or as rudely or as uncaring as you do to your mate. Why do we do that? Because they're there. They're there for us. We know they love us. So we know that they'll put up with some of the things from us. But however, how is that the right way to treat someone? The other thing with relationships is you never think about the outcome, the goal that you have in mind. When you're yelling at your mate, what goal do you have in mind? You have a goal just to get your point across. You don't care about how they're taking it. You don't care about what it sounds like. You don't care about the goal at the end. That the goal really in your mind is, I want to be with this person. But every action you're doing is the opposite of what you want your goal to be, the outcome to be. So we got to take a step back. So mental health, all it is balancing your logic and your emotional brain. And you do that with your prefrontal cortex, which is there to kind of reason between the two. So if you're highly emotional, you're not reasoning. So when you're highly emotional, yelling at your mate, going off at your mate, you're not reasoning. You're not thinking about, oh, this is not the goal that I want. This is not the outcome that I'm trying to get. Oh, this is backwards. But that's what you need to think. In your private time, with your private thoughts, you need to be thinking about solutions. Too many couples are stuck on the problems and don't think about solutions. Why? I don't know. That's just how it is. But it doesn't have to be like that. Again, many relationships are doable. That you can work through issues. You're going to have the same issues if you go into another relationship and you're passive aggressive and you still haven't learned how to talk. Or you're going to have the same issue if you go into another relationship and you're aggressive and you still don't know how to talk to people. So it's the same thing. So why not work it out with the one that you initially fell in love with? That's the thing. We initially fall in love with people. We get these ideas about them. We have beautiful viewpoints of them and perspectives about them. But once something goes wrong, we start to hyper focus on that wrong. Then we start to build up on that wrong. And now we see the person in a completely different light. They're the same person. You just weren't focused on that issue when you met them. Make sense? They're the same person. You just weren't focused or hyper focused on that issue when you met them. You were hyper focused on the beauty of things. Maybe how they looked, how they sounded, their job, whatever it was, you were focused on something different. So again, the goal for making relationships work is to refocus back on why you love them, back on the good parts. There's a story I'll tell. I had a client, and I will tell a lot of client stories. However, there's no HIPAA violations here because there's no names being spoken about. You don't know who I'm speaking about. This can be Tom, Dick, Harry, Sally, or Sue. So it's totally fine. But I've had an experience with a client where father was somebody he looked up to for his whole entire life. Obviously, father took care of the family, held down, were immigrants, so moved out here and did their thing. Made it happen for his family. Made lots of money. So decided to dabble in the stock market, lost some money. Not all money, but lost a lot of money to where they were going to lose their home and they had to move. So son's disappointed. So that's son's issue, right? Son is disappointed in father. Father has his own set of issues. He's lost money. Now he's trying to kind of get it back so he can be the breadwinner again, and the what do you say, the eye in the son's the respectable man that his son knows him to be. He's trying to get back there. So that's his problem. Son is very offended, looks down on his dad, thinks his dad is quite frankly stupid for doing the stock market. So how do you repair this? So you repair this mentally. Everything is done mentally, and how you think about things. And how you think about things is based on your experiences in your life, which builds your perceptions and your beliefs. So he had built up his father as Superman. Obviously, a lot of us do. My dad was Superman to me as well. But then his dad did something different. I'm also experiencing that and working through it, and I'll let y'all know about that a little later. I got lots and lots of life experience to share with you all. Lots. plus work experience, plus more life experience. Okay, so he's disappointed in his father. So my therapy with him is, how'd you view your father before this happened? Oh, he was an amazing man. He took care of the family. He was so respectable. So what changed from that to this? One incident, right? Now, granted, it's a big incident. You lost a lot of money. Money is very important, right? However, does it change the core of your father? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Your father is all of the things that he was and still is, in addition to one mistake. We cannot hold people accountable for one mistake. Now, I get if it's murder, if it's molestation, you might, yeah, you're going to start to look at that person like, oh, he's a molester. Like, that's it. Like, they're a molester, they're a murderer. Okay, wow. But even those people still have other characteristic traits that tend to get negated, like it was never there. So, back to relationships. If you want to make a relationship work, you need to think about who that person is all the way around. Now, if you still come back with, oh, they're toxic, now they might be toxic and you may not need to be with them. Okay? That's just reality. There are some toxic people in this world who will never treat you the way you want to be treated. However, when I get couples in, it's usually not that. It's usually just a communication breakdown and a view or perceptional change in how you're looking at that person. And all you need to do is bring back those memories, bring back those facts. Because they're not just memories, they're facts. Like, dad really did help. Dad really did build the family up. And so those are all still facts that are within him that you have to open your mind to viewing. Once we got there, son was able to talk to the father. He was able to start to forgive him and to see him for who he was, which is still the same man who made a mistake. So, I know a lot of you guys are like, oh yeah, that's me, I cheated, and I just made a mistake. And she won't let it go. Now, sometimes that is the case. Sometimes you can hurt someone's ego so much, or the way they view you, you can hurt that image so much that with cheating, that it's very hard for them to wrap their heads around you're a different person, or you can go back to being a different person, or because we can't really go back though. I'll talk about that a lot. But you can move forward to being a different person. But your mate still has that tinge. And a lot of times that tinge, that sting, is because they personalized it. They thinking, oh, you cheated because you don't like me. You cheated because I'm no longer attractive to you. And that is not true, ladies. Some men cheat because they can't control their PPAs. Some men cheat because they just have a super high sex drive. A lot of men do. They have that testosterone. Women have estrogen and testosterone. Our testosterone, I believe, is our sex drive. And testosterone in men is what gives them that sex drive and that strength. So a lot of men they only have testosterone and they have a lot of it. And so, they're aggressive, they're manly, they're sexual. So there's a lot of different issues besides, oh, he had sex because he doesn't like me. A lot of men have sex for physical relief, gratitude, whatever you want to call it. Physical. Men are physical. Women tend to have emotional cheating. Now, in today's world, with all the, I want to say hip hop and R&B, all the Megans and different people, right, who are vagina free, or whatever you want to say. What do I want to call that? Vagina empowered, right? Everybody's so vagina empowered. And that's great. You want to know that you have some power within your own body, and and you can use that the way you want to. However, the way it's being depicted is that, oh, I can pass him around, and I can do what I want to do. And yes, you can do what you want to do. However, you want to always ask yourself, what behavior am I doing, and is it helping or hindering? And ladies, which this is another topic, but however, we're talking about relationships. So if you want a man to respect you in a relationship, you can't be running around here talking about wop, 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 and looking like a certain thing, and you want to be wifey material. Now, I know there are clear double standards in life, but however, we want to ask ourselves, why are there double standards? Again, whole nother topic, and I'm going to be bringing y'all a lot of good topics, okay? So make sure you like, subscribe, and click that button. because I'm going to get into it. I'm going to really get into it. And what I'm speaking is facts, all right? Facts. So what I want to say is double standards. Yes, there's double standards. But however, some double standards are there for a reason. I.e., here's one. Women get pregnant, right? So if you whopping, and you bring your kids into the world, now I respect the ones that are not. They're very smart. They're doing their thing. They ain't bringing no kids in the world, and they're chilling. Fine. But once you understand that you're a woman and you can bring kids in the world, you can't be whopping everywhere and getting pregnant and doing your thing. No, you're involving other people at that point. But if you're not, then okay, do your thing. Do your thing. Your testosterone levels is up, girl. Go on and do your thing. But what I'm saying is, if you want somebody to take you seriously, if you want somebody to respect you, you do have to put on or put out a respectable image, respectable voice tone. Communication is what we're talking about as well in relationships. You got to do these things. Again, you wouldn't go into an interview talking about some WAP or whatever you want to say. You want to act like that. So why do you do it in your relationships? Why do you come home, cuss your man out, and then think it's okay and it's going to be cool? You know, it's not. So, topic. Why do African American men, because this has been a topic for years, like why are they leaving the black women? Why are they leaving the black race, right? This is what people say. So, I would like to take a shot at it. Why? Communication. Men don't like to be talked down to. Men like to be respected, just like everyone else. Kids like to be respected. That's a whole nother topic. Oh, do as I say, do as I say. Kids are people. They like to be respected as well, as they should be. But old school parenting, I ain't got to respect him. He got to respect me. Yeah, it goes both ways. So why are black men running? Women, black women, our mouths. It took me years to understand this. Because why I can't say what I want to say? Freedom of speech. What do you mean? I'm expressing myself, right? Wrong. Again, you would never talk to a friend in that way. And if you did, it's an argument. And if you did, then that friendship might not last as long, right? Because you're agitated, she's agitated, y'all done said some things that you can't get past, and that's that. And it happens over and over in relationships. Now, I'm going to have a follow-up video to explain why black women are so strong. There are reasons. These are not, I hate when people say, oh, excuses. No, there are excuses, and then there's reasons. I separate the two by saying excuses are lies pretty much, it's things you're making up. Reasons are factual reasons. So factually, there are reasons why black women are so strong. Factually, there are, in historical reasons why black women have this edge or this barrier to them. Now, I will say you have to identify that barrier, identify that edge, that agitation, and work on it. Because not everyone you encounter needs to encounter that. You need to know how to bring it back. I always tell people they can change their behavior. You know how I know? Anybody can change their behavior. Kids, dogs, anything. Because you change your behavior already. When you're in church, you act a certain way. When you're at work, you act a certain way. Now, some people might pop on, oh, I act the same everywhere I am. No, you do not. There is no way you go into church and you curse somebody out. Okay? And if you do, there may be a little bit of more mental health things going on, okay? And I'm here for you. Honestly, I'm here for a lot of people. One thing you'll know about me is I care about everyone. I haven't said that, but you'll learn that through meeting me and talking with me. I honestly care about everyone. I don't have to know you to care about you. That's true caring. Yeah, and it sounds cliche and it sounds sappy, but it literally, people feel that way and they really think that way. I don't hate people. I don't care what they've done to me. Hate is an extremely strong emotion that I don't want to feel. And I don't need to feel. I don't need that on my heart. And so I don't have that on my heart. I will show you how to do that. I will show you how to lose grudges. I will show you how to move forward. I will show you how to be a healthier you. At least we will talk about it and you can take those tools and do with them as you wish. But there are definitely ways to get over trauma, get through trauma, even if you're not over it, get through it. There are definitely ways to rethink and retrain your brain. And that's all therapy is. It's retraining your brain, thinking of different perspectives, understanding those perspectives, and again, balancing out your logical mind, which is your left brain, and your emotional mind, which is your right brain. You have to balance those out. We do it daily, we just don't know we're doing it. Excuse me. So then I'm going to let you know how you're doing it and how it should be done, for the health of us all. We all are in a time where we really need mental health to be healthier. It's not. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Everyone's mental health has been disturbed during COVID. Everyone's. Mental health is not a bad word, all right? Mental health is just a description of your brain. It's just your mental. That's it. Just go, oh, I'm going to mental health. No, it doesn't mean you're mentally ill and crazy. And we don't even use that word crazy. As a therapist, the only time we should use the word crazy, first of all, not, when you're describing your clients, they're not crazy. A lot of people are not crazy. The only time I think or use that word crazy is if I'm trying to be funny and I'm just talking about myself like, oh, that's crazy, girl, or something like that. Or if I'm looking at a serial killer, somebody who's molesting somebody, I might say that person is off their rockers, and that's that. But mental health, no, everyone has mental health. So for me to say something's crazy or not right is absolutely ridiculous. It means I don't know what I'm talking about, because everyone has been depressed. Many people have been depressed. Let me take that back. Many people have been saddened to the point where they don't want to get out of bed. Okay, but not everyone has a full-blown depression diagnosis, but everyone has experienced, most people have experienced these emotions. Anxiety, that's common. To worry about things, to have fear, even fear of rejection is an anxiety. A lot of men have fear of rejection. Oh, I don't want to go up to her, she looks like she's taken. I get that all the time, right? Oh, she looks like she's taken. Well, that's fear. Fear is anxiety. So I know a lot of people don't like the labels of mental health and, maybe some treatments of mental health. But remember, therapists are not pill pushers. That's psychiatrists. But there's all kind of things that you can definitely work on. So when I say mental health, I don't want you guys to be taken back. I don't want you guys to, run away. Mental health is something we all have. We all need to talk about. And we all need to improve, especially at a time like this. So I'm going to be coming back on. I'm going to be talking about some really good topics in depth. I'm going to stick to the topic when I talk about them, because I do like to bounce around. So I'll be sticking to some topics, but they're going to be some interesting and I hope thought-provoking topics. Like my next topic, I want to talk about generational or historical aspects, conditions that create the strong black woman. I also want to go into more depth about why black women are no longer interested or shy away from African Americans women's strong demeanor. Which again, it's all understandable if we just open our brains, our hearts, and our minds. We can understand everyone. I can understand the next man. I can understand the next woman. I can hear both arguments and understand them both. I was watching on YouTube, I'm Not a Racist, and it's a rap between two people. So one is an African American or black person, and one's a white Caucasian person or white person, and they are rapping and they're talking about their viewpoints of racism. They all made sense. All of it made sense. Until a point where it got a little offensive, of course, right? Because I'm human, I'm going to get offended. But it all made sense, and I could understand what everyone was talking about. If we can just get there and understand what everybody's talking about, not have to agree, but understand. And that's what I do. I understand people. As a therapist, I understand everybody's viewpoint, your emotions. Emotions are not wrong, okay? People always say, oh, you're telling me my emotions are... Emotions are not wrong. There's just some that are healthy and some that are unhealthy to keep and to dwell on. So no, your initial reaction of something, that's initial, that's automatic, it's natural, it's who you are. But when you see that your reactions, say with communication and anger, if you see that your reactions are detrimental to you, are causing a lot of consequences, that's when you want to look at it. So that's when, hey, this behavior, this emotion that I keep feeling, it's unhealthy and it's causing a lot of turmoil and I can't do it. So it's simple. It's simple. Mental health is simple. My concepts are going to be simple. They're just not easy to do. I always tell my clients that. Mental health, very simple. Concepts, very simple. Techniques, even very simple. However, they're not simple to use. So we'll be talking about a lot of topics, not just therapy in the sense that you guys think therapy is. I'm very different as a therapist. I'm very down to earth. I'm very practical. I simplify a lot of concepts because, again, they are simple. I just can't wait to talk, and to get this information out there. I mean, I see a lot of things on YouTube that are not appropriate. They're not helpful. They are dragging people online. There is actually one man, and I won't mention his name now, but I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review on his video once I learn some editing and some different things, because right now I'm just coming to you guys. I'm just going to be doing the videos. If I don't, it's a Saturday morning, I just woke up. If I don't do that, then I won't be on here. I'll be worried about what everybody else is. Oh, my face, my hair, my this, my that, my look, all of this, and I don't want to do that. I want to just bring the information, and the information is going to be good, okay? But there's one guy on YouTube right now where he is giving women advice, and first of all, he's a man, and he's giving women advice. Second of all, he's beating them up. I mean, beating them up. I mean, one of the comments I heard the last week was that the lady she was making six figures, and I can't watch him. I only watch this one clip. I cannot watch this man. It boils my blood to watch him and to see other women watching him and calling him in for advice, and to see men following him. Now, some of his tips, which is why most probably people watch him, I have heard some good tips about how men are and how women are. Same thing I'm going to be talking about, but in a very constructive way. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I do want you to recognize what you're doing, and how it can improve, because that's the other piece, how it can improve. He seems like he's just calling it out, being derogatory. The lady who made six figures, she had a 16-year-old. And he was like, what makes you think you could get a millionaire? You have a 16-year-old. Like people don't have kids. Like, because they have kids, they can't get somebody who has the same stature as them. I mean, this girl worked her butt off to make six figures and have a 16-year-old, obviously. It was just mind-blowing how badly he talked about her because of having a kid. And so women don't need to hear that stuff. We have kids. We are women. That's what women were made for, honestly. And I did say that's what women were made for. Your vagina was not made just to kind of spread around. Okay? It just wasn't. And that's not a bias. It's not an opinion. Like I said, if you're young and you want to do what you want to do, just do it and be careful with it. But yes, women were made to procreate. Actually, that's what the human race was made to do. But now we got all kind of different things going on. I also have experience in that. Anything I talk about, I have, whether it's life experience, and it is going to be life experience. Because even, textbook experience, all of that is life experience. But I have a ton of life experience. So, LGBTQ, IA, all of that within my home, within myself, all kind of different experiences. I've been married a few times, but you guys will hear lots and lots of stories. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be hopefully a journey. I do want to keep it somewhat professional, as I am a professional here in the area. However, I do want this channel to be real. And I do want to, again, simplify some things and make it really clear. Because some things are very easy to understand. We're just not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not helping ourselves. We're not being kind to ourselves. We're putting everybody above us. Not treating ourselves correctly. And that's something that we have to do. So I hope I can spread some self-care. I hope I can spread some information. I hope that this reaches a lot of people. I do. Because it's going to be good. I will see you soon. This is Zanyae Speaks. Make sure you click subscribe. Click the like button. Help me get my subscribers up. I know it's pretty easy, but we'll see. And leave me some comments, because I'm going to leave them on. So I would love to read the comments and see what's going on with everybody. So next time we will have a straight topic. And hopefully I'll be uploading once a week on the weekends, maybe twice. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And talk to you guys soon. All right, this is Zanyae Speaks, and I'll see you later.